Okay, there are no coincidences. The universe works in divine order, and this video caught your attention for a reason. You feel it, don't you? You're vibrating on a different frequency than the crowd. If you've always felt like you don't belong on this planet, and you carry the crescent moon and the letter M in your palms, then this is your sign. This year is the perfect moment to activate and awaken the deep power hidden in the M mark and the perfect crescent moon. Believe this, you are meant for a blessed journey. You just need the keys, and they've been in your hands all along. Here's a truth many overlook. The patterns on your palms aren't mere coincidences or random grooves. Symbols like the letter M and the crescent moon mark are far more than decorative quirks. They're spiritual blueprints, cosmic imprints placed there by design. And here's where it gets even more compelling. 2025 is shaping up to be a year unlike ways that will awaken dormant potentials within you. This isn't just another trip around the sun. It's your time to rise, to step boldly into the divine assignment you were born to fulfill. In this video, I'll guide you through recognizing these profound symbols in your own hands, show you how to spiritually activate their hidden power, and reveal why 2025 is the pivotal moment when they begin working in unprecedented ways. This isn't some trendy self-help gimmick. This is timeless wisdom passed down from seers and sages who understood one fundamental truth. Your hands carry the map to your destiny. So stick with me until the very end, because what I'm about to share has the potential to transform not just how you see yourself, but how you navigate the world. Your breakthrough isn't waiting somewhere out there. It's already encoded within you. All you need to do is unlock it. Ready? Let's dive in. Living in divine paradox is to embrace the duality ancient and new, grounded yet infinite, human but celestial. It's a dance between opposites, a sacred rhythm that pulses through every breath you take and every line etched into your palm. Consider this, your soul carries the weight of eons past, imprinted with stories from lifetimes long forgotten, while simultaneously holding the freshness of today's untapped potential. You are not bound. The moon mark on your hand isn't just a symbol, it's an invitation to step fully into this paradox. These marks remind you that you're rooted in the physical world, where gravity keeps you tethered to Earth, yet they also beckon you toward the infinite expanse of possibility above. This tension, the push and pull between what feels finite and what seems limitless, is where true magic happens. When you learn to live within this space, you begin to see yourself not as separate pieces trying to fit together, but as one cohesive whole, perfectly designed for the journey ahead. But how does one navigate such a paradox without feeling torn apart? The answer lies in understanding that these dualities aren't meant to be resolved, they're meant to be harmonized. Think about it. When you look at your hands, you see evidence of work done, calluses earned, scars healed. Yet those same hands hold the capacity to create something entirely new tomorrow. They are vessels of action and manifestation, tools for shaping reality itself. Your fingerprints are unique, not because they define individuality alone, but because they represent the intersection of your humanity and divinity. Each swirl is a reminder that you are part of something greater than yourself, a cosmic web connecting all beings across dimensions. To live authentically means embracing this truth. You can honor your roots while reaching for the stars. In fact, it's only by acknowledging both aspects that you unlock your full power. Without grounding, overwhelming. Without vision, being grounded feels stifling. Together, they form the foundation of who you truly are. Now let's talk about the emotional resonance of living in this paradox, because it's not always easy. There will be moments when you feel like you're straddling two worlds, unsure which foot to plant firmly on solid ground. Maybe you felt the ache of knowing too much, while still yearning to discover more. Perhaps you've stood under the night sky, gazing at the stars only to realize that their light has traveled millions of years to meet your eyes, and yet here you are, fragile and fleeting, standing beneath them. That juxtaposition can feel heavy, even isolating. But here's the beauty of it. You are both. You carry the wisdom of the ages in your bones, yet you embody the spark of creation in each moment. The symbols on your palms serve as anchors. Navigate the intimate details of your daily life. By leaning into this discomfort, by allowing yourself to sit in the tension of opposites, you uncover a deeper sense of belonging, not just to the earth or the cosmos, but to yourself. What makes this paradox so powerful is its ability to transform how you perceive challenges and opportunities alike. Imagine facing a setback not as a failure, but as a necessary thread woven into the fabric of your story. After all, if you are both ancient and new, then every experience contributes to the tapestry of your becoming. The lines on your palms don't just tell a story of destiny. They reflect the choices you make along the way. Every decision, every act of courage or vulnerability adds another layer to the masterpiece that is your life. And in 2025, as the energies shift around us, you'll find that these layers begin to align in ways that amplify your purpose. The divine paradox teaches you to trust in the process, to surrender control, outcomes, and instead focus on the present moment. Because here's the secret. The present is where the infinite meets the tangible. It's where dreams take shape, where intentions become actions, and where the celestial merges seamlessly with the human. Time distortion is one of the most fascinating phenomena you'll encounter as you deepen your connection to purpose and align with the sacred signs encoded in your hands. Have you ever noticed how some days seem to evaporate before you can even grasp them, while others stretch endlessly, each moment heavy with meaning? It's not random. It's a reflection of your alignment or misalignment with your higher calling. When you're living out of sync with your true path, time feels like sand slipping through your fingers, fleeting, intangible, frustratingly elusive. But when you step into alignment, when your actions resonate with the divine blueprint written within you, time transforms. A presence and significance. It's as if the universe slows down just for you, allowing you to savor every detail, every breath, every heartbeat. The lines on your palms aren't merely static etchings. They're dynamic pathways guiding you toward these pockets of eternity. Consider this. What if time itself isn't linear, but fluid, bending and shifting according to where you direct your energy? Modern life often tricks us into believing that productivity equals progress, that busyness equates to success. Yet deep down, we all know there's more to it than ticking boxes or racing against the clock. Purpose-driven moments rewrite the rules entirely. They defy conventional notions of time because they operate on a different frequency, a spiritual cadence rather than a mechanical one. Imagine standing at the edge of a sunrise, watching light spill over the horizon. If you're fully present, flow, only to look up hours later, astonished by how quickly or slowly time seemed to pass. These experiences aren't anomalies. They're glimpses of what happens when you harmonize with your soul's rhythm. The symbols on your hands act as anchors, reminding you to seek these moments and trust their transformative power. Now let's explore the science behind this phenomenon. not in the sterile sense of equations and formulas, but in the poetic interplay between consciousness and reality. Quantum physics has long suggested that our perception shapes existence, that observation influences outcome. What if the same principle applies to time? When you live from a place of purpose, your awareness sharpens. You begin to notice synchronicities, patterns, and connections that would otherwise go unnoticed. Suddenly, a seemingly ordinary day takes on extraordinary dimensions. That stranger who crosses your path, their word during your commute, it leads to an epiphany you didn't know you needed. Time doesn't speed up or slow down arbitrarily. It responds to your alignment with intention. The crescent moon mark on your palm, for instance, might symbolize cycles, urging you to embrace the ebb and flow of life instead of resisting them. By paying attention to such cues, you learn to navigate the distortions of time with grace and wisdom. But here's the paradox. While purpose stretches moments into eternity, it also compresses vast periods into manageable spans. Think back to pivotal chapters in your life, the ones that shaped who you are today. At the time, they may have felt grueling, unending, even insurmountable. Yet now, looking back, those years seem condensed, almost surreal in their brevity. Why does this happen? Because growth demands immersion. To evolve, you must dive deeply into the process, surrendering to its demands without fixating on the end result. And when you emerge on the other side, you realize that what once felt like an eternity was actually preparation for something greater. This duality, the simultaneous expansion and contraction of time, is a hallmark of living authentically. The letter M on your palm could represent mastery, signaling that these compressed yet expansive phases are opportunities to refine your skills, deepen your understanding, and embody your highest self. Trust the process, even when it feels overwhelming, because every second spent in pursuit of purpose contributes to the grand design. Inner rebellion is not a loud outward explosion, it's a quiet, seismic shift within. It begins as a whisper, a faint unease that something isn't quite right. Perhaps it starts with questioning the systems you've been told to trust, the rigid hierarchy provided frameworks for understanding the world and your place in it. But deep inside, there's an undeniable urge, a pull toward authenticity that refuses to be silenced. This inner rebellion doesn't seek destruction for its own sake. Instead, it dismantles what no longer serves you, clearing space for something far greater. Divine architecture. The lines on your palms, the letter M, the crescent moon, aren't just symbols of destiny, but markers of this sacred upheaval. They remind you that collapse is not failure, it's preparation. When false structures begin to crumble within you, it can feel like chaos. Old certainties waver, familiar anchors loosen, and the ground beneath you seems uncertain. Yet this process is essential because true growth cannot occur until the old foundation has been cleared away. Think of it as renovating a house. Before building anew, you must tear out the rotting beams, strip stronger, more beautiful, and aligned with your vision. In this case, your vision is intertwined with the divine blueprint etched into your essence. False systems thrive on conformity, demanding that you suppress parts of yourself to fit their mold. But divine architecture celebrates wholeness, embracing every facet of who you are. As you allow these internal collapses to unfold, you'll notice a profound sense of liberation. You stop apologizing for being different, for thinking differently, for seeing the world through your unique lens. And in doing so, you reclaim your power, not the kind imposed by external authority, but the innate sovereignty that comes from living truthfully. This rebellion isn't just personal, it's universal. History shows us time and again how transformative change often begins with individuals daring to question the status quo. From spiritual awakenings to so distinct, however, is that the rebellion now unfolding isn't confined to external battles, it's happening internally, at the soul level. The year 2025 will act as a catalyst for this transformation, amplifying energies that push humanity toward collective awakening. But it begins with you. When you challenge the narratives that have kept you small, the stories of scarcity, inadequacy, or separation, you contribute to a ripple effect that extends far beyond yourself. Each person who chooses authenticity over compliance weakens the grip of false systems, paving the way for a new paradigm rooted in unity, compassion, and divine purpose. Your hands carry the map to this revolution, guiding you to trust your intuition and reject anything that diminishes your light. Yet, embracing this inner rebellion requires discernment. Not every belief or system deserves to be discarded outright. Some hold kernels of those that imprison. For example, traditions built on love, wisdom, and connection can provide stability without stifling growth. Conversely, dogmas designed to control, divide, or suppress individuality must be dismantled. This process isn't always black and white. Sometimes it involves sitting with discomfort, interrogating long-held assumptions, and confronting fears about stepping into uncharted territory. But here's the gift. Each time you choose authenticity over conformity, you strengthen your inner resolve. You become less reliant on external validation and more attuned to the guidance emanating from within. The symbols on your palms serve as constant reminders of this journey. They're not static marks, but living guides, urging you to honor the divine design unfolding in real time. As you navigate this inner rebellion, remember that the collapse of false structures creates fertile ground for divine architecture to take root. Imagine planting seeds after years of neglect. The potential for growth is immense, but only if you nurture the conditions necessary for flourishing. Divine architecture operates on principles of harmony, balance, and interconnectedness. It invites you to build a life aligned with your highest self, one where actions flow from purpose, relationships reflect mutual respect, and decisions honor both the human and celestial aspects of your being. This kind of creation doesn't happen overnight. It unfolds gradually, layer by layer, as you integrate lessons learned during the demolition phase. Trust that the void left by collapsing systems isn't emptiness, it's possibility. Lean into the uncertainty, knowing that the universe conspires to support your evolution. By surrendering to this process, you align yourself with a force far greater than any man-made construct could ever offer. Unshakable inner knowing isn't confidence, it's something far deeper, more primal. Confidence can waver. It's often tied to external validation, performance, or outcomes. But certainty? Certainty is the quiet hum beneath your skin, the unrelenting whisper that says, "This is who I am. This is why I'm here." It's not loud or flashy. It doesn't need to be. Unlike confidence, which can rise and fall with circumstances, this inner knowing feels like an ancient truth etched into your very bones. It's a compass calibrated by the divine, guiding you even when the road ahead seems obscured. The lines on your palms, the letter M, the crescent moon, aren't just symbols of potential. They're affirmations of this encoded purpose. They remind you that your path wasn't chosen arbitrarily, but woven into the fabric of your being, long before you took your first breath. To trust this knowing is to step into alignment with the universe itself. What makes this inner knowing so powerful is its independence from logic or proof. In a world obsessed with evidence and rationale, there's a profound liberation in realized truths transcend explanation. You don't need to justify why you feel drawn to certain people, places, or pursuits. You don't need permission to follow the call echoing within you. This knowing bypasses the mind and speaks directly to the soul, a language older than words, richer than reason. Think about moments when you've ignored this inner voice, opting instead for what seems safer or more practical. How did those detours feel? Likely hollow, draining, misaligned. Now contrast that with times when you trusted your instincts, even when they defied conventional wisdom. Didn't the universe seem to conspire in your favor? Doors opened unexpectedly, synchronicities unfolded, and clarity emerged where once there was confusion. That's the power of unshakable knowing. It doesn't demand guarantees because it already carries the weight of inevitability. Your hands, with their intricate patterns, are maps pointing you toward this truth of your path, and start walking it with unwavering faith. Yet, embracing this inner knowing requires courage, an act of defiance against doubt, fear, and societal conditioning. From a young age, we're taught to seek answers outside ourselves, from teachers, books, experts, institutions. While these sources hold value, relying solely on them disconnects us from our innate wisdom. Doubt creeps in, whispering insidious lies. Who are you to know better? Who are you to dream bigger? But here's the truth. No one else holds the keys to your destiny, not because others aren't wise or well-meaning, but because only you carry the unique imprint of your purpose. When you tap into this unshakable knowing, you reclaim authority over your life. You realize that while guidance may come from many directions, the final decision rests within you. The years themselves increasingly out of sync, while those who embrace it will experience unprecedented alignment and flow. The beauty of this inner knowing is that it operates beyond ego. Confidence often stems from a desire to prove oneself to the world, to others, sometimes even to ourselves. But unshakable knowing has no agenda. It exists purely to guide, to illuminate the next step without concern for accolades or applause. Consider how different decisions might look if made from this place of pure alignment rather than ambition. Would you still chase empty achievements that leave you feeling hollow? Or would you prioritize experiences, relationships, and creations that resonate with your soul's frequency? Living from this space transforms not just your trajectory, but your entire way of being. You stop striving and start flowing. You stop performing and start embodying blueprint. You magnetize opportunities, resources, and connections that support your mission. People are drawn to your authenticity, not because you try to impress them, but because they sense the depth of your conviction. Finally, consider the ripple effect of living from unshakable inner knowing. When you operate from this place of certainty, you give others permission to do the same. Authenticity is contagious. It dismantles the illusion that everyone else has it figured out, while you're floundering in uncertainty. By trusting your path, you shine a light for others to trust theirs. And in 2025, as collective consciousness shifts toward greater awareness, this shared awakening will gain momentum. Imagine a world where individuals no longer doubt the quiet voice inside, to honor the symbols on your hands as sacred guides, and to walk boldly along the path encoded in your bones. So let go of the need for external approval. Let go of the fear of making mistakes. Trust that your steps are already charted, even if the map isn't fully visible yet. Because at the core of your being, you already know. Your journey isn't random. It's divinely orchestrated, written in every line, every curve, every mark that makes you uniquely you.